What up, YouTube? I didn't go live last night because a little bit depressed, but I'm over it now. Didn't feel like doing nothing yesterday. Waiting up until a few people get in here and talk about a few things. Went to feed my animals earlier. I don't know, about 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And got my chickens fed and realized I needed dog food. So I had to go back to the Dollar General and get dog food. And the damn bottom fell out. Luckily I had just enough time to feed the dogs, because as soon as I got done feeding the dogs, whoosh, the damn bottom just said, I'm out. It's been raining down here ever since. It's raining now, as you can hear it. I got a bump in the back of my damn head. It fucking hurts. Whew. Today was pretty decent day. It wasn't that hot today. I got it to maybe 80 something. Wasn't that bad. Now it's in the 70s. It's good and cool out here. Listening to it rain. There's a fan going, cool air going outside. Feels pretty good. What's up, one viewer? Let me know down in the comments who you are and where everything. So that way I know who's watching. What's up, Matt? How's it going? Finally got on here tonight early. I'm from Georgia. Where are you from? Sitting here listening to it rain. Hearing the frogs croak. It's peaceful out here. I can go to sleep. Well, that's awesome, man. It's cool of you to say that. Hell, if I had a cot, I'd sleep out here on the porch. It's perfect conditions right now. Feels pretty good outside. Oh, Mississippi. Whew. I went through Mississippi probably back in 2019, 2020. Preppy girl, what's going on? Nice of you to join us. If y'all haven't been to my live or seen me live before, I started doing this about a week ago. And I get on here and talk about everything. So, and the floor is always open. If you have anything that you want to comment on, we'll talk about it. Yeah, old Mississippi. I like old Mississippi. I'm doing good. Finally got able to where I'm on here a little bit earlier. Usually my lives don't go out to about 11:30. 10, 11:30. You think Ole Miss is going to do some pretty good this year? What you think about Ole Miss? Heck, he's gone. I think he's gone anyway. I'm wondering how Alabama's going to do this year now that they got a new head coach. Saban stepped down due to his wife's health. Wonder if they're gonna continue coming with the power. Be nice. So hopefully we'll get a championship this year. I'm an Alabama fan. I'm probably gonna get ridiculed for that, being from Georgia, but oh well. But old Kirby Smart, he's did a pretty good job with that team over there. Last few years. Which rumor had it that he was leaving this year, but I don't know. Somebody he got offered a job to coach the Falcons, but I don't know. I don't think he took it. That's what I read online. The end of the last year's season. Now who knows? I don't watch NFL. There's too much money in it. You can pretty much tell who's going to win about halftime. It's just like boxing. It's too much money betting on it in Vegas. The mafia runs all the gambling. So they pretty much tell you who's going to win. They pretty much set it in stone. I hope the night's pretty good live. I hope some people join in and stay in. I got a few people that like my channel and like my live, so hopefully they'll join and keep it going. Because I keep my lives based on people that stay and want to talk. It's about 20 minutes in. If I notice there ain't nobody here, then I end it. Because there's no sense in me talking to myself. I'm gonna see if I can get my little brother to join back in with me when they get back from camping. But hopefully my regulars, they come in and join. But I'm sorry my lives ain't exciting to some people. But some people, they enjoy it. They enjoy the conversation and they enjoy talking about everything that we talk about. So I'm trying to get to 1,000 on YouTube so I can get monetized. Because when I get my house fixed and my porch built and everything, I'm doing a podcast I'm gonna start doing a podcast up there, and I'll have the professional lighting. I'll have everything. It's gonna be bad. So it's just gonna take some time to get my house back in order. And it'll probably run for about an hour, hour and a half. So hopefully by then I'll have over 1,000, and then I'll start being able to get monetized and stuff. Yep. We're 11 minutes in, almost. So y'all go like and subscribe. I mean, it's free. Don't cost you nothing. But maybe about 2 seconds to go do it. Hello, 4 people. If y'all want to comment down below, feel free to do that. We're here. They're gone. Man, I could just sit out here and listen to this all night. This is nice. If you ain't got a covered porch and screened in and everything, you need to get you one. I'm telling you. It'll make your life a lot better. It's peaceful after a hard day. You come out here and just relax. Cardboard, what's going on, brother? I'm doing pretty good. I was waiting on one of y'all to come in. We got 4 in there so far, it says, so, including you, so it's awesome. I'm glad you're here. How are you doing? Now it's a party, man. Now you here. It's a party. And keep this live going. I got one thing to say, though. Hang on, shoot, I figured I missed the last couple best visit now. Yeah, well, last night, buddy, I didn't go live last night. I was just too tired and a little bit depressed, so I'm all right now. I just didn't feel like doing anything. It's just one of them days where you don't feel like doing shit. You just want to lay in the house and watch TV. It was one of those days yesterday, but I'm all right now. But I do gotta say one thing. With it being raining and it's dark, I can't stand it when people is passing in the other lane has their freaking brights on and they won't turn them off. You flash yours at them and they continue to brighten. They continue to blind you. I can't stand people like that, because I can hardly sit at night anyhow, and I'll just sit there and hold my brights on until I pass them. Like, you gonna brighten me, I'm gonna blind you. So I just can't stand that shit. Some people are courteous, they cut theirs off, but it's mainly when it rains and it's dark that they won't turn their fucking brights off. I can't stand that. That's how you get people killed. Because what if you do that to an old person that really can't see hardly, and they swerve off the road and die or something? Yeah, bright lights, man, it kills my eyesight, especially at night. Because I already got astigmatism in both of my eyes, and it's bad. It's not like a mild case. It's a pretty bad case of astigmatism. And it's bad. And so at night, it fucking sucks. Especially if you got astigmatisms, and at night, it's hard to drive at night, man, for real. Yeah. Yeah, you ain't lying, man. I think a lot of those damn diamond white headlights they put in these cars nowadays, hell, their dims is as bright lights. And I think it needs to be outlawed. I mean, I don't think that's right. I mean, when I was younger, I was all for the diamond white, xenon and all that, you know, the whatever HID lights and all that. I was all for that when I was younger. But now I realized I'm blinding the shit out of people, so I quit doing that. I went back to regular old halogen bulbs. Stigmatism, yeah, is where the center of your eyes and the inside of your retinas are like footballs. The light don't it. The light retracts differently than somebody without one. And you know how you look at a light at night and it's like starburst. It's not like it's you got like extra light coming off of it. That's astigmatism. And it makes it hard for people with them to see at night. But I got glasses and everything for that, but it helps some. It takes some of the starburst away, but it don't take it all away. So like right now I'm looking at floodlight across the street and it looks like a cross. It's got a line going to the top and a line going to the side. And I got astigmatism in both my eyes. That ain't just for one. My left eye is worse than my right eye. They say people with blue eyes has a higher chance of going blind by the time they're 50. Yeah, I'd go to the optometrist, man, and get them to look at your eyes, because they can see it when they put that bright light in your eye, and they're looking in the back of your eye when they do that, and they can tell you if you got astigmatism, because they can see it, because that bright light reflects over, like it refracts. I'm speaking it wrong. Refracts over it differently. They can tell how the light's shooting around it. And they're like, yeah, buddy, your left eye's pretty bad, but your right eye is like on its way. So I'm like, well, great. I'm going fucking blind. Knock on wood, I hope I don't ever go blind, but the statistics say that people with blue eyes has a more likely chance of going blind as they get older. Some people, it's about right when they hit in their 50s, their eyes go like worse. Yeah, I just paid $180 on my glasses. I mean, it ain't a lot of money, but it isn't to me. But I gotta take them back and get them sent back off, because I paid for that anti-scratch and anti-glare and all that shit lenses, and I paid extra for that because my insurance would only cover the frames. I had to pay extra for the features. Well, my dumbass lets them in the floorboard and it scratches up one of the lenses, and I'm like, it's supposed to be like anti-scratch free or whatever. And well, it ain't, so now I gotta send them back up there because I paid extra for the warranty also. I gotta have them sent back off. But I did pay cash. I paid $180 for, and that was half off because they screwed my glasses up the first time. And it's a pair of sunglasses that's Z87 safety proof. They're anti-glare and all that, and they're actually prescription. I wear those sometimes, but I think I'm gonna start wearing them all the time because my glasses are messed up. Yeah, cardboard, it does suck. That last message, YouTube took it away because you said the S word. I don't moderate it, they do. So, I'm sorry, man. What's up, Croissant? Yes, sir. I've been on for 20 minutes now. I said it in the beginning of the live. I said typically about 20 minutes. If nobody comes in, usually they start coming in, but if nobody comes in, I'll just cut it off. But here, hit 20 minutes, and here you are, and cardboard started up about 11 minutes in. How are y'all doing? How you doing? I didn't go live last night, buddy. I was just wasn't feeling it. I was having one of those days. Yeah, last night I didn't go live last night. But I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you didn't miss this one. Hopefully KC Farms will show up if she's not too busy. And you see my community page? Okay, cool, man. I didn't know if you see my community community message last night I put on there. That's cool. I wouldn't know if anybody was getting those or not. Because I do go, if something comes up or whatever, I'm going to go to my community page and type out a message and post it. That way y'all see it. I didn't know if y'all going to see it or not. I'm glad you did. Yeah, M ain't been back since that last time we were on. I hope he's good. So how was your day? I heard this channel had up dog. I don't see any. I don't know what up dog is, buddy. I have no idea, bub. Alright, but we'll be here. Oh, I'm good, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Mr. Trevor. If you've never been to my live before, I just talk about everything going on in the world, or talk about live, talk about fishing, talk about anything. So, floor is open if you have anything you'd like to comment about. I got a few people in here that come on a regular basis, and it gets to be a pretty good show. As you can see in the comments, Croissant, Cardboard, they hear about it every night. And then KC Farms, she's usually here. Alright. What is your take on politics? Like, what do you think about anything with politics? It don't matter what the subject, anything. Because we talk about politics too. Sometimes we'll get heavy into that subject. And no judgment for me. I don't care who you like or who you're with. Don't make no difference to me. Ain't gonna hurt my feelings none. If you want to. I mean, you ain't got to if you don't want to. But we talk about fishing, hunting, guns. We talk about work, anything. So, like, I'm not a really big hunter anymore. Kind of gave that up. I'm more of a fisherman now. I like catfishing. That's my favorite pastime, is catfishing. I'm more of a Ford and Dodge guy. I got an '07 F350 four-door. It's a king cab with a 6.0 that's been studded, and it's a good truck. It's only got 258,000 miles on it. It's real low miles for an '07. And then my favorite truck though would be a Cummins 6.7 truck, because I had a 13 a 2500 long wheelbase. It was 4-door king cab, lifted, full drive. It was nice. I used it to haul stuff around the United States. All right, man. I'm glad we can be friends, brother. But for Chevrolet, I don't like the Duramax trucks, but I do like the 5.3. That is a solid engine. I will say that about Chevrolet. The 5.3 and LS motors, they're solid. I've owned everything, man. I've owned Ford, Dodge, Chevy, Nissan, Pontiac. I've owned them all. Never owned a Honda though. I had a chance to own a Honda, but it needed a head gasket, and I didn't feel like putting one on. I mean, they're easy to put on, but I didn't feel like putting one on. Cardboard. I think our country looks like a damn joke to others, just like about that every 5 years, as a leader of another country, you got to deal with either the same person or another 5 completely different. Yeah, yeah, I believe you're right, man. The way we're going with everything, man, we're the laughing stock of the world, man. We are, we are the weakest we've ever been as far as a country and being united. We are the weakest we've ever been. Everybody's against everybody. You got black people hating white people. You got white people hating black people. You got white people hating Mexicans. You got Mexican. We're all divided, and it's bullshit. We all need to get along. You know, we all need to be united, not divided. But that's what the politicians want us. They want us divided so that we're arguing and fighting all the time. They want us to keep our minds busy and not on them. Hey Casey, we I've been on for 28 minutes. Cardboard came on about 11 minutes, and Croissant came in about 20. But getting back to that, man, I don't care if you're black, blue, red, or purple. I get along with everybody. I mean, we all bleed red when we get cut. We get wounded. We all bleed red. We all bleed the same. I mean, our skin color might be a little darker, a little lighter, but it don't make a shit to me. You know. No, you're good, Miss Casey. You're good. You're good. But I just wish we were a stronger country than from what we are now. My thing is the open border thing from Mexico. I mean, I don't think you should come over here illegal. I think if you want to be a citizen, you should go about it the right way and get your visa and then get your citizenship later or whatever, how it works. Because if like me or you go to like Europe or Canada or whatever illegally, they're gonna lock us up. They're not gonna just, okay, you can stay here. They're gonna lock you up and then deport you. But we don't do that, and I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why we're letting everybody come across the border. We're all willy nilly. As this red and white and blue got us divided, these stupid debates turned into an elderly Roasting battles. Yeah, man, that was. I watched that debate, man. That got me cracked up, man, all night watching that right there. That was funny as hell. I mean, it turned into a dick swinging contest at that point, you know. Oh, I bet. I'm a this stroke on golf. Well, I don't think you are. Let's tee up tomorrow. Let's find. I'm like, who cares, man? Nobody wants to see y'all old fuckers golf. I mean, you know, they want to know how you're gonna run the country and why, who's gonna be better at it than the other, you know. But that was funny as shit, though. I just couldn't help but laugh at both of them. Okay, Casey says, I agree. Why do we have to pick sides or judge people? Because they might be different. It's not right. We should all support each other and help each other. Exactly. We're all human. 110%. But they don't want us doing that because then we'll get together and realize that the government was created by the people. And back when it was created, the government was this small and the people were this big. Well, now it's flipped, and we were. It was designed for us to say what we wanted and how we wanted us to live, and you know, it's got away from all that, of course, as you can see, and it's got us all. They don't want us being friends and coping with getting along, and because then we'll get together and realize that this is all bullshit and we can overturn them and all that because we have the power. The people put them in their positions. We have the power if we really wanted to take over and make everything right. But nobody wants to do that. Everybody's afraid of the government and what they'll do or what they might do. You know, but it's all a game to them. It's all a game. Let's figure out how we can get them more angry at each other today. What can we do? You know, I bet you they have a big long round table sitting somewhere, and it's all of our leaders. Okay, well, this part of the country is starting to come together. We need to figure out how to make them more divided. Okay, let's go to the ghetto in the more crime-ridden towns. Let's put up more liquor stores or more gun stores on the corners, and then let's make up some bullshit. And you know, I think that's what they do. You know, they figure out ways to keep us hating each other. Picking the leader out of the country should not be a damn. Exactly. You're right. 100%. You're doing okay today. Okay. Yep. Yes, the government has to control the people. Yep. I think control can be good to keep people busy and stuff, but not divide. Exactly. Yeah. You're 100%. But in our lifetime, we won't never see a united country. We won't ever see it. I don't think it'll ever happen ever again. I mean, I really don't think it was really united from the get-go, but it was a lot better back 200 years ago than it was today. You know, everybody loved one another, but nowadays it's bad, man. It's really bad. You know, and whose fault is it? I mean, I don't know who to. You really can't blame nobody. You don't know who to blame. But that's but that freedom of speech and all that, it kind of people blow that out of proportion and all that. You know, some people let that go to their head. Oh, it's my right, freedom of speech. Yes, you do, but just chill the hell out, bro. Like, it's not that serious. You know. And you have the right to protest. Whatever you want to protest out in the world, wherever you want to go in the United States, protest. You have that right. But make it peaceful. Don't make it to where you're protesting on this subject and this person over here don't like that. Don't jump on them and start beating them up because they're different than you. Everybody has a different opinion. If somebody out there says, "Well, I don't believe in what y'all are protesting for," well, say, "Okay, I'll pray for you," and you walk on. You know, don't sit there and beat them down and get in their face and spit in their face just because they have a difference of opinion than you do. I mean, if you're going to protest in the streets, protest peacefully, you know? Because that's how people get hurt and people get killed, you know? My opinion might be different than yours, and yours might be different than mine, but I'm not going to get in your face and spit in your face and say you're a moron because you have a difference of opinion than I do. I've never been to a protest anyway, so I don't really know how they go on. I just see what it goes on, how some of them go on YouTube and the news and all that stuff. Cardboard. The society we all grew up in has formed unhealthy views on each other. Yep. Everyone is trying to play others for their own game, especially social media and its targeted content. All the lies and exaggerations. 100% right, man. Well, call the cops on me, brother. I don't care. That's what you want to do. More power to you, brother. I mean, the 80s and 90s were decent. You could afford American dream, house, family, opportunity. There's still division, and with race, sexuality, yet there still is, unfortunately. Yep. You're right. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 89. So I grew up in the 90s. And I I've seen a little bit of the American dream, I guess you would say, growing up, that I can remember. But I remember my dad and everybody talking about you could get a house and land pretty cheap, and it didn't cost you a whole bunch of money. Uh, but if you were different back in them days, you were looked at different, and you were treated a different way. But it wasn't like it is today. I don't know how hot it is here. Let me see. I can't see it. I don't know. My small town always said to be behind social forms or norms is about 10, 15, 20 years. So I grew up in some relatively normal areas with good folks and people in mind. Yeah, yeah. I didn't have social media growing up in the 90s. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have internet. I don't think we got internet until probably the early 2000s. Well, no, I take it back. Mama had AOL back in 97, 97, but it was dial up and it was so damn slow. So it was, to me, I was always outside growing up. Like you couldn't keep me in the house. Like I was outside till dark, and I was in the woods, creeks, freaking fishing, freaking. I was doing everything outside. You couldn't keep me in the house, and I really wouldn't a video game person either. I didn't really. I mean, I played Nintendo, but I wasn't glued to it. I didn't make my life around video games. So I didn't get my first PlayStation until probably 97, 98. And hell, I still didn't really play it much. I was still outside, you know. Now my older brother, he's the opposite. He stayed glued to that shit. But I was always the hell outside. I couldn't stay in the house. Casey Farm says that's not Scarborough. Hopefully, not a dying breed because everything is gone. I think I'm the last of the old-fashioned stay-at-home mom because both parents need to go work. Yeah, yeah. I've always been called an old soul because I've got a lot of older mindset, and I've been called old-fashioned. I'm only 34, but I've been called old-fashioned. That I was born in the wrong era. I've got a lot of older ways, the way I think about things. I was talking to an old timer. It's probably in his late 70s, and he said when the government took away the freedom for their kids to go work in the fields, in the cotton fields and the cornfields, because this old man, he grew cotton when he was young, back in the 20s or no 30s, and then he grew up, and then he had his own land. He started growing his crop was corn and something else. But his kids grew up in the fields picking everything, hand picking everything. And he said when the government come in and said your kids can't work in them fields, they need to be in school. He said that's where the world went wrong. He said his opinion that it was going to weaken Americans when they took their ability away to go to work at a young age. Because he said he remembers when he was old enough to walk, he was picking cotton with his mom and daddy. Because that's how they made their money. And that's all that man knew was farming. And he said that his kids, 12 years old, out there working in the cornfields, he said the cops come by and said, "Hey, you got to take them out of there. They can't be doing this field. They got to be at school." And he's like, "This is my kids, my property. You can get the F on." But he said it in a nice way, I guess, to me anyway. But yeah, he ended up getting in trouble for it, and yeah, and this was probably back. He said his oldest was born in I think in the late 50s and maybe early 50s, and he said that they didn't want him to let his kids work in the cornfields. They said they got to be at least 16 years old to have a job, and he's like, "You're not teaching the youth the value of work and a dollar when you take the work away from them and tell them that they can't do it until they're old enough." So I see where he's saying, I see what he's meaning by it, a little bit, but my grandmother was the same way. She told me if I didn't get a job, nothing's free. You have to earn what you got. You have to earn it. And so I started cutting her grass with a push mower. I mean, I was probably 8 years old. I'd cut it every week, once a week, and she'd give me like $10, $15 every week for cutting her grass. And I knew then you know, hold on to your money best you can. So when I was little, I would take that money and I'd save it. I'd put it up somewhere until my brother found it and took it from me. And but my grandpa's always told me also, nothing in life's free. If you want it, you'll go work for it. Don't be asking with your hand out. Here, I need some money. I need some money. He said, it don't work like that. Okay, Casey says, I'm grateful I can stay home with my babies. I don't want someone else raising my children, but yeah, that's awesome. I was involved in their lives. They are grown. I had my oldest at 18. He's 25 now. Wow, that's awesome. Very true. Hard work never hurt anyone. Has great rewards. It does. It makes you the man or woman you are when you're older. You know the value of everything once you've had a job, and once you've worked hard for that money, and you save it and you put it down on a house. You appreciate it. This house I worked my ass off for. I know the value I have in this house. But if you grow up with no job and your parents don't make you get a job and you're still at home at 30 years old playing video games, you don't value shit. You don't know what nothing is. And you know, school. I ain't saying school's not important. School's very important, but you also gotta have a job, to understand how life works. Cause there's nobody gonna come and pay your house note. There's nobody gonna come and pay your light bill. There's nobody gonna come and buy you groceries. So you have to learn how to work and how to pay for all that stuff. So my daughter's 17 years old and she's been making her own doctor's appointments since she was 14. So we told her, this is how you do it. If we're not here and if we're not able to come to the phone, this is how you need to do it. And she makes all her doctor's appointments. She calls her school and lets her school know, look, I'm gonna be late to school. I've already got a note. She takes care of herself. We're trying to make her where she's very independent, and she's very independent. She has a job, and we let her work through summer. She works full time during the summer and like little bit of part time during the school. But if she can balance her grades and stay good and the job, she can keep both. But if her grades start slipping, we kind of ease back on the job and focus more on school. But and then my other boy, Charlie, he's disabled. Like he's going deaf. So me and his mom, we had to fork out like almost $9,000 for hearing devices, and he has absent seizures. His mind will go blank for about 10 seconds, and his eyes will dart up and down instead of side to side. They go up and down, and so then he'll come back to, and he's normal again. It's the kind that's not in the floor shaking and convulsing. It's not that. It's not those. It's different. And so he's actually got to go to neurology in next month, actually. But we're looking at different outlets for him as far as work, because they have to accommodate his disabilities, and that's going to be hard to do. Because he always wanted to go to the military. That was his go-to for as long as he could talk. He was wanting to go to the military. He wanted to be a sharpshooter. And once he started going deaf around 13, we told him that wasn't going to be an option anymore. And now it definitely ain't an option anymore. Okay, Cardboard said, yeah, we pulled weeds, worked as a janitor, electrician in my school, and I'm getting a job at a mechanic shop after I'm finished my little sports season. Awesome, man. Yeah, great. And then Casey says, well, all three of my kids are still at home, but they all work. That's good, though. They work. They're not at home stuck on TV. They can't even afford to move out and pay for a car or anything else. with how expensive everything. You're exactly right. Everything is expensive. You are exactly 100% right. But at least they work. They're not at home on a video game. That is great to hear that they all work. That is awesome. Because I know people let their kids be in their 30s and at home playing video games, still living at mom and daddy, because they didn't want to work. They didn't want to experience life. You know, I know people like that, and it's sad. You know, they don't want to go out and get a job and have their own money, have their own responsibility. You know, shit. I moved out, and I was when I turned 18 years old, I was gone, and I had to sink or swim because I didn't know nothing about life. I didn't know how to balance a checkbook. I didn't know how to pay a bill. I didn't know nothing. But the situation I was in, it was better off for me to be gone. So I got in with my ex girlfriend. I got in with my ex girlfriend, living with her and her parents in their basement when I was 18. Lived there for a better half of 2 years. But her mama taught me how to live. I didn't like the bitch. Didn't like her. She was always angry and hateful. But I can take one thing out. She had a big part of me being the man I am today. So I do got to give her credit where credit's due. But she taught me how to pay my own bills. She taught me how to live. She taught me how to balance a checkbook. She taught me all that shit. Because I didn't know any life skills. The only thing I knew how to do was cut grass, and that's the only thing I knew how to do. And so I got up, became a man, and worked every day ever since. But um, after I moved out and broke up with her, come back home to my dad's and lived for a little while, and got a job, and been working ever since. I haven't stopped. Thank you, Casey, for saying that. Yeah, he's a he's a good boy. I mean, he loves doing outside stuff. He loves disc golf. He's pretty good at that. Um, and he's good with computers. He can actually code a little bit on computers, not much, but he's learning how to code, and that's hard to do. And but that's something he can do if he can learn how to code. He can make video games and he can make software and all that, and he can work from home by doing that. So I'm hoping he kind of locks it in there. That way, you know, he's not, you know, that way he feels value. He feels valuable in the world and all that. Same here. I moved when I was 17. My situation was not the best, but nobody's fault. Um, my mom passed when I was 16. I'm sorry to hear that. You lost your mama when you're still a baby. I hate that. Yeah, coding is hard, but he's learning that crap. Um, Somebody on YouTube teaches a class, and he watches that on YouTube, and it's free. And he's learning how to do it, and I think once he gets good at it and he sticks to it, I think that he'll do good at it. Because he has that mindset, you know. He's good with numbers. Math has always been his strong suit in school. He's always excelled in math. He's good with numbers. So I think that's why he's good at coding. What's up, Prasant? Well, chime in anytime, brother. Anytime you want to chime in on whatever, just say, hey, I'm here. This is what I think about whatever. So just, you know. But the thing is, the sad reality of it all, it's just going to be harder and harder as the years go down the road. It's never going to get easier for anybody. The cost keeps going up. It's going to get to the point where you can't even go get a cheeseburger because it's going to be $18 for a cheeseburger and all that. I'm probably going to get some hate on this, so I'm going to say it anyway. I don't think that it's fair for somebody at McDonald's is wanting $25 an hour to be a cashier versus somebody wanting to be a paramedic and only getting paid like $18 to save someone's life. I think that's ridiculous. That's why the fast food has went through the roof, is because everybody's cried, wanting all that money. Well, the thing is, they set their money is based on budget, and so once the budget gets raised and you want that money, guess what goes up? The food goes up, the drinks go up. So that's why fast food has gone through the roof. It's because everybody's crying, wanting that $25 an hour and all that. But a paramedic can't even barely get 20, depending on what city and state he's in or hers in. Because I know the county I live in, the cops ain't even a top tier post certified cop ain't getting paid $20 an hour in my county. Everybody's leaving my county and going to other counties because they're starting post certified officers with experience at like 30 an hour almost. And paramedics are not, we don't even have I think as of right now, I don't even think we have paramedics in our county. It comes out of county now. There's no money. The city don't want to pay them. They keep on saying, oh, we don't have the revenue to pay them, blah 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 blah. But yeah, y'all do. Y'all are just sitting on that money. I mean, their 911 system, they're updating it, and it's costing them $19 million, and it's going to take them 4 years to update that system. And I'm like, that $19 million could be paying the cops more, or the paramedics more, people that we need, the fire department more, Now they want to update the police dispatch system. It don't make no sense to me. Because if they've been sitting on $19 million for, I don't know, God knows how long, why can't they pay the cops and the paramedics more? It's going to get to the point where we're not going to have any of them resources. They're going to have to come out of county. I think 90%, I won't say 90, I'll say about half is coming out of county for paramedics. And our county's huge. And I think on night shift we have, for the whole entire large county, I think 4 cops at night, and I think like 8 cops during the day for the county. Not the city, not counting the city, but the county. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. But people's going to go where the money is. So, I mean, you can't really, I guess the people to blame would be the county officials. Carver says, coding is crazy. I do a little for a gamer, and I'll do a little for a gamer, and it was fun watching all the work come together, especially because it's very time consuming. Casey said, you should make more money if you have training and a degree, but I get it because my kids all mine at $12 an hour after car stuff, phones, gas, food, and other bills. Exactly. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. So I don't know what the answer is. Yeah, I don't either. I don't think we'll ever know. Casey, I really don't. I really don't. I just wish it was a little bit easier. If they would quit, if we would quit sending our manufacturing companies over to China, I think we'll be doing better off and bring it all back here. The cost would go way down because the reason why it's so high is because you're having to pay that shipping and custom fees. That's why everything's so expensive, because it's got to come from China on a tanker. It's got to pay their customs for shipping it, and then it's got to pay our customs for receiving it, and then something that should have cost $5 is going to cost you $20, because all of those fees. And I think I said this the other night, I think we only have one steel mill left in the United States, and it's in Pittsburgh. And that is crazy. We should have, man, we should have at least 20 or 30 steel mills. If we did, you know how cheap steel would go back down to be. It would go back down to like 80s prices, you know. But the Democrats don't want that coal. They want to stop coal burning. They want to go back that green stuff. But if you look up the research and do the math on it, those charging stations are horrible on the environment. Them lithium batteries. Guess what? Them lithium mines in Africa. Get, that's the reason why I don't care too much for electric cars, just because the lithium mines is all mined by children. They did drone shots over them lithium mines, and there's children out there dying in the heat for basically no pay hardly. And then when these electric companies buy that lithium for like hundreds of millions of dollars, they don't pay them workers hardly anything. They pocket all the money. That's why I don't fool with anything hardly. Uh, I mean, I know you can't get out from buying a phone. The phone that comes with a lithium battery, I get it, but I kind of stay away from the lithium part because I don't believe in the how they extract the lithium over there in Africa, because it's child labor, and they say, oh, child labor is just not, it's not happening over there. Blah blah blah. I think Elon Musk come out and said that when he come out with his Tesla cars and all that, because everybody put a big stink about the lithium mines. He's like, I've been over there. There's no child labor. Blah blah blah. They only let you see what they're wanting you to allowing you to see. They didn't let you see the whole operation. They only gonna let you see a piece of it. But I've seen drone shots on the internet, and it's bad. It's very bad. Casey said, I agree, because the government has gotten too deep with China and forgotten, foreign countries for other supplies. Why don't we just do it here? More jobs, better prices. Exactly. 120,000%. Bring the companies back over here. Let us do the work and make them pay all them fees and stuff. You know. See, like, I'm a big car audio guy. See, Orion Car Audio was hand built in Arizona. It's been hand built in Arizona since the late 70s, early 80s, and I think around 03, 04, the materials that they were getting from America stopped. They all went to China, and so they used up whatever they had saved up in their warehouses. And after their warehouses were depleted, the owner of Orion Car Audio sent the business to China, because he didn't want the name to die. And so to keep the name alive, he was forced to sell to China. And to me, that's any mom and pop shop, any company is making it harder for the mom and pop shops to get the materials in America to continue to manufacture whatever they're manufacturing, because they either it's too expensive to get, or they quit doing the material here and they move to China, and then they shut down and move to China. Same goes with PV Electric Company. They make guitars, amps, and motherboards or soundboards for music. PV was a household brand since forever ago, and they picked up and closed down shop in America when around the mid upper 2000s, maybe 10, 11. They're in China now. He sold to China. So yeah, I mean it's getting like that everywhere. So like General Motors had their last assembly line for what I think the Chevrolet truck, Silverado. I think it was in Michigan. Now it's in Mexico. They closed all manufacturing in the United States. All Chevrolet is put together and built in Mexico. But you got Kia. The Kia is solely manufactured in America. It's manufactured down in Alabama. The Ford cars are here manufacturing, but the American cars are not here anymore hardly. I think we still got maybe a Ford dealer, Ford manufacturing still in America. I think in Kentucky, but I'm not sure how many we got anymore. I know Chevrolet's in Mexico. Don't want to change things. Yep, they don't. They want to keep it the way it is, and they're happy. They like the government likes to see us suffering because guess what? Then they want us calling them, hey, can I get a few $100 to pay my water bill or pay my food bill or whatever? And they want you to get them handouts. They love the government loves them people with their handout. They love that shit because they don't want you to succeed. They want you to be basically homeless. That's why they don't really do much for the homeless because they like seeing the homeless. They like people on the streets begging for money. They love it. They eat it up. What time we getting to be? It's about that time. But maybe one day it'll get better, but I don't think it will. But hopefully we can hope. All we can do is hope and pray that it gets all better and it gets back the way it needs to be. But with all this dividing going on, I don't think it'll ever get back to normal. One thing I am gonna say before I get off here, there's another one of them kind of iffy subjects, but I'm gonna say it anyway, and that's that white privilege. Now I don't know about you, but what the f is white privilege? I never had that. I never had no white privilege. I want y'all to tell me what that is. Yeah, homeless people, yeah, they need help, especially our homeless veterans. Now that really pisses me off is the veterans coming home to nothing, and the government just throws them out like they're trash. Yeah, we'll send $16 trillion to Ukraine. Man, I hate they're going through what they're going through, but it's not our fight. It's not our business. We should not be sending our tax-paying money over there. In my opinion, they need to work it out on their own. Yeah, we've sent over $16 trillion since that war started 4 years ago. But anyway, getting back to white privilege, what do y'all think about that? Because I never seen no white privilege. I'm poor as shit. I mean, my bills are paid, my kids are fed, but I've never seen no white privilege. I thought when that crap first started coming out on social media a few years ago, I just laughed my ass off because I'm like, I wasn't born and raised with a silver spoon in my mouth. That's what they're if that's what they're talking about. I don't even know what that is. I never come from life of luxury. I had one pair of shoes that had to last all year long. I'd be lucky to get a pair after a year. And then I lived on dirt roads. We ate cornbread and pintos every night for supper, and drank water, sweet tea. That was all the shit you got to get growing up in my grandma's house. I ate a lot of beanie weenies too. Oh, you're native, man. What nation? I'm Cherokee. I'm actually whitest Indian you'll ever see in your life. Between my mom and dad's history, I'm like 22.5% Cherokee. There's no white privilege. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, poor. Had to work for everything I ever had. I was homeless with a baby at one point. I'm not now, thank God. Yeah, exactly, thank God. But I had to work hard. Yeah, I've never known what that was. So I don't even know how that even got started. Navajo, heck yeah, man, that's awesome. We actually did a genealogy on my bloodline. My bloodline is from Oklahoma. They were on the Trail of Tears, the Cherokee Nation out in Oklahoma. Because when they were forced out of our region to trek the Trail of Tears, Oklahoma. So my lineage comes from Oklahoma. I don't know the percentage, but I do know it's enough for me. Yeah, me too. If I just got to get all my ducks in a row, and I'm gonna contact the role out there in Oklahoma and see what I can do, because I'm more than eligible for free health care and land. So, but I feel bad if I did that, because I'm not like 100% native. You know, I feel like I'm taking something away from somebody else. You know, I'm 34 and grew up without it. Why do I need it now? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I would be like to be on the roll. That way, my name's in their book with my lineage. But I wouldn't want to accept nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'd feel bad. I mean, that's probably me overthinking shit. But that's just, you know, I feel bad. You know, they'd give me this and all that, but you know, somebody that's more like closer to 100% needs it. You know, I feel like I'd be taking something away from somebody else. But I do qualify. I know I do. See, my arms, they're dark. They're dark red and brown. My whole body to be like that, but I've I've always wore shirts outside during the sun, because I didn't want to get baked. But if I you know, I would darken up pretty good. I love going to the reservation up in Cherokee, North Carolina. It was an amazing experience, buying handmade items and watching the culture. Yeah, back in the 90s, it was hopping. I mean, it really ain't much now, but you could walk down the street and they're showing their culture. They're showing, you could buy stuff off of, right out of their tribe's hands. They handmade and stuff. I loved it. But now I don't even think they do much of that anymore. They used to get out in the streets and dance, and it was awesome. I loved it. But I haven't been up there like in so long, like to actually sit there and go through everything. But I don't know if they even do that anymore. Because me and mom would pack us up and we'd go about every other weekend during the summertime. We'd go up there to Ghost Town back when it was open back in the 90s. And if you've never been to Ghost Town's up on a mountain in Maggie Valley. It's straight up. You get in this cart and you're strapped in, and it goes straight up a mountain like 90 degrees. And you're straight up and you go all the way to the top, and there's a whole town up there. It's like old western ghost town. And they'd have rides, they'd have food, they'd have like old western shootouts. And it was a really good show. It was really cool up there. I went about 10 years ago. They was the last time, yeah. I went to Washington D.C. and a museum there about natives. It's crazy seeing things from your own household in a museum. Yeah, dude, it is. I've never been to an Indian museum before, but I like to go. I mean, I like to know a lot more about the Cherokee tribe. But the sad part about it is I was looking at a map that was probably, I don't know, 500 years old. It was a map that they had redone, and it gave a list of all of the tribes that was from Florida all the way to Washington State. And it was probably, man, probably 300 or 400 different tribes. And I think now we're down to like 50. The white man came and wiped them all out, and it's so sad. We're talking about Indian tribes and stuff, bub. I'm gonna run this live about another 5 minutes. I'm gonna be out. I gotta get up early in the morning. I ain't never been to DC either. I've always wanted to go up there, look at the monuments and the Lincoln Monument and all of them up there. I've always wanted to walk up there, you know, just take pictures and whatnot, but I ain't never really had much of the time to go. But history lesson is that well, that's cool. I'm glad your school did. That's awesome. But the history though is that, you know, when you're first learning about who discovered America, the first thing that comes to your mind is Christopher Columbus. He didn't discover America. The Vikings had discovered it long, about probably 200 years before he did, before he's even born. The Vikings are over here first, and they did a lot of the killing of the Indians and stuff. If you watch that show Valhalla, that's on HBO, I think, it tells you a little bit about the history of the Vikings and when they found America. There's also a movie about the Vikings. It's an older movie, and it tells you what they come over here and did. It's awful stuff. I mean, if you've got a weak stomach, I wouldn't watch it. But it talks about what the Vikings did to the natives in America. And it's an older movie. It's probably early 2000s, mid 2000s. It's about 3 hours long. It's pretty crazy. I couldn't get through all of it, but I watched enough to learn about it. But I'm looking at my yard, and I think I see somebody in my yard, but I'm not sure. It's kind of dark. I guess I'm just seeing things. Yeah, it's bad how the Indian tribes are treated. You know, if the Indian tribes today was to get out in the streets and riot about what happened to them thousands of years ago, you know what? I wouldn't bat an eye. I wouldn't even get mad. Cardboard says, well, I'm going to get some rest. Got to wake up early. Yep, I got to get up. Yep, I got to do the same thing. I'm about to get out here in a minute. Later, buddy. I'll do my best to get on tomorrow if I'm not too tired. So, see you tomorrow, brother. But yeah, like I said, if the Indian tribes today was to want to get out in the streets and riot, I wouldn't even care. Because they have every right to do that. Same with the Jewish people. What Hitler did to their people. If they was to get out tomorrow and riot the streets, I'd get out there with them. My wife found out that she's Jewish. She comes from a long line of Jewish descent. Her grandmother's grandmother actually fled Germany. So she was part of the Holocaust. And that really hit home for my wife when she was reading about all of that. Because she had no idea that she had any Jewish descent in her. Mine is English, about 80% English. Well, about 70% English, about 20% German, and the rest a little bit of Irish. But anywho, it's well, that's awesome. But have not always, but not always awesome because of how they were treated as well. Yeah, 120%. Yep. Yep. And my thing is that they're wanting to take that out of the history books, and they don't want the kids to be taught about the Holocaust or the Trail of Tears and all that. They don't want that taught in school anymore. They said it's too violent, which it is, but you have to teach children history so it don't repeat itself. You know, you have to teach that in school so they know not to do it ever. But I'll get on that teaching subject later. I'll get on a rant and I won't shut up, but I got to get off here. But I'm glad y'all joined. Cardboard, Casey, and Croissant. I'm glad y'all were here tonight. I appreciate it. It was pretty good live, good discussions. I liked it. We had a good sounding board. I like it. Y'all were my sounding board, and I reckon I was y'all's too. So I appreciate y'all being here. So I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get up early in the morning. I gotta be up at 6 in the morning. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Later. Good night, y'all. God bless.